What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down the best and worst college camps to attend. Let's get started. Now, before we get into this video, fellas, if you are a quarterback or a wide receiver and would like 200 plus wide receiver and quarterback drills all mapped out for you with the exact sets and reps to do, and we put each specific drill into a playlist that organizes the drill so it's not just a million different drills that you don't know what to choose from, check out that very first link in the description below. You get access to every single drill that we have. Sets and reps are completely mapped out, and it's all organized and easy to retain. So again, if that interests you, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get back to this video. All right, guys, so the camps that we are going to be starting out with today are the ones that you want to try to avoid. So this time of year in the summer, everybody's going to college camps. Everybody's trying to, get more exposure, get recruited. But a lot of times guys waste their time. And in the off season, there are two types of investment that you guys can make into your own personal game. You can make a financial investment, whether that's paying for a gym membership, a coach, a trainer, going to a camp that's going to help your skills improve, or your time, right? And your time is extremely valuable because when you think about it, when spring ball ends, right? When does spring ball end? Like April, May, you really have only 2 months, June, July, before the season starts. So you got to invest your time. You got to make sure that you spend your time wisely doing things that are actually going to translate and help you, whether that's recruiting or getting better for the off season. So a lot of you will probably go to those big state school camps. Like let's say you live in Alabama, you're probably going to go to the University of Alabama's camp. Let's say you live in California, you're probably going to go to the USC camp, right? So let me tell you about the USC camp because that's where I live. I live in California, right? And it's a great experience. You get to meet players, you get to meet their coaches, especially all the hype that USC has at this time of year. But when you go to the camp, and I have a lot of guys that I train down here that will end up going to these types of camps. You go to the camp, let's say you're a quarterback, for example, and this is what my quarterbacks told me. They will have every single quarterback from freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and then maybe some JUCO guys if they offer that at the camp, all in one specific environment, right? So you do the math of how many quarterbacks this is. I think I found out that there was like 60 quarterbacks that were just in the freshman class this year. That's just the freshman class. Not even to mention the more that are going to be the sophomore class, junior, and senior, and JUCO, right? So that's a lot of kids. It is impossible to evaluate talent as a coach. And let's say the camp is 3 hours. It is impossible to evaluate that many quarterbacks in 3 hours. You need days and days and days to be able to evaluate those guys to give you a six-figure scholarship offer. Because when you think about how much tuition is at that school, what is it like out of state? I think it's around 60 or 70,000. Times that by 4, right? It's a six-figure scholarship offer. They're not going to evaluate a guy and make that kind of financial investment to him in a 3-hour t-shirt and shorts workout. You got to understand. And that is just the quarterback position. Think about the receiver position, which is even more crowded. Think about linemen, think about running backs, linebackers. All those people at one specific location, guys, it's honestly just a money grab when it comes down to it. Now, let me tell you this, because everybody I'm sure has known somebody who is, well, they went to this camp and they got an offer. The kids who are getting offers at these types of camps are kids that were already being recruited, guys. They were there before you guys. Like, let's say the camp started at 10, check-in started at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. They were already there at 7 a.m. getting a tour of the facility, meeting all the coaches. They already know who their guys are. And anybody who has ever gone to one of these camps, you've always sat there and you've wondered, and I've done it too. I did the same thing too coming up and playing. I would go to Boise State camps. I would go to UCLA camps. I would go to all these camps, right? And you would sit there and you'd be like, man, how does he know all the coaches? How does this guy know that guy? And you're confused, right? Because like, well, why don't I know these guys? Like, was there another camp that I didn't go to? No, it's because they've already actively been recruiting them. Now, listen, if you're actively getting recruited by one of these bigger state college schools, by all means, go to the camp. If you know the coaches, if they've come to your school, you've met them, it's probably a good thing to go to. Just do not go and expect to land an offer when you are unnoticed. That's one of the biggest mistakes that you can make. Now, let's think about that. Let's think about that scenario for a second. Let's say you have dreams and aspirations to play at that level. Maybe you're a freshman, maybe you're a sophomore, people have told you that you're good enough, you think that you're good enough. You can still go to those camps, just go to build a relationship. Do not go to be like, hey, I'm going to land an offer. It's impossible, like literally pretty close to impossible. And I know everybody's got their stories. Everybody knows somebody. Guys, they were already getting recruited by those schools or they know somebody or whatever it is. You got to go to build relationships. So what do I mean by that? I mean going to the camp and actually like meeting the coach, talking with the coach, getting his Twitter. So when you actually get some varsity film, don't even get me started on that. Guys will go to these camps without varsity film and expect to land an offer. Guys are not going to make a six-figure investment in you without varsity film from a camp. Okay, so you go to meet people, get them to follow you, you follow them back, you communicate with them on Twitter. It's about building a relationship. But you guys honestly want to try to avoid these types of camps. There's a way better way to spend your time and to spend your money, and that's what we're going to talk about next. All right, so the camps that you want to try to attend, I would say, are like the satellite camps, I guess you could say, or maybe like a mega camp. I don't really know what necessarily the right term for it is, but I'm going to explain it. So I got the most benefit out of camps that I would attend where there were either a small group of kids at the camp, and usually those are smaller division schools like Division 2, Division 3, maybe NAIA, whatever the situation may be, or camps where there were, 8 different schools at that specific camp. Now I know in California they have a camp, and I don't necessarily like this one too much, but maybe it's a little bit better now, just what I've heard in the past. But it's like a Redlands camp. Like a Redlands is like a lower division college, I think D3. But they'll have a camp, and they'll have like maybe 6 separate camps. And all 6 camps have about 10 to 12 college coaches there. So like Yale will be there, Penn will be there, UCLA, Arizona State, all those things will be there. They usually go to those smaller division schools. That's how they draw people in, right? Those smaller division schools, and get people to sign up. And they also can pull talent from that as well. So those are probably the ones that you want to go to, I would say. I would try to avoid single staff camps unless it's going to be small numbers. I remember first offer I ever got and the first kind of recruiting interest I got to, I went to this small D3 camp. I think I was like a sophomore in high school or something like that. No film, no nothing. But it was like maybe 60 kids. I remember it's hot as hell. It was like 100-something degrees. There's like 60 people there, but that's perfect, guys, because you'll actually get to know those coaches. And I think it was like a 4-hour camp. Like that's perfect. That's what you want, right? And so I remember I kept in contact with the coach, and that was the first offer that I got because I sent him my film. I kept in contact with him. I built a relationship. And yeah, it was a small school. I didn't end up going there, but still, an offer is an offer. They're offering to pay you to come to their school pretty much, whether it's a full ride or whether it's not. That's impressive, guys. Anybody who gets their education paid for, that is impressive through football, who uses football as a platform to do that. So those are the camps I would attend. Another camp you want to try to avoid that I would say, any kind of off-brand exposure camp. You are athletes, combines, Army combine, all that's a scam, dude. Like they know who their guys are. They know who their 4-star, 5-star guys are. You're not going to go from unnoticed to noticed at one of those camps. It's very, very unlikely. And like I said, you have 2 types of investment in the off-season, money and time, and you have to spend both of those wisely. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback, and it's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like 200+ quarterback and wide receiver drills that you can do, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you on that. I'll see you guys next time.